Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, then run it back. Run it up, run it back. Run it up, then run it back.
Happy Friday, we've made it. Yes, we have. Chandler in studio. Lou, how's Atlanta?
Very, very cold, but I still got a little snow on the ground, so I'm gonna go out and play a little bit when I get done and throw snowballs at myself.
Did that flight chill out a little bit?
Yeah,
or was it bumpy?
How did it get it? Hour 2.5.
My flight was a little bumpy when I texted you guys, but a little red wine and a little smooth air got me home.
Who got you there? Captain Beads, ladies and gentlemen. Sit back and
Beads.
relax.
You had me dying at that text. I'm going to use that one.
I got all the apps. All right, we got a lot of basketball to get to. Specifically, though, we're going to start with the All-Star starters announced. A little delay yesterday in all of the things. Thanks a lot, Snow. But the Eastern Conference, there we go. Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, Karl Anthony Towns, Giannis, and Jason Tatum. Let's start with just simple thoughts. Chandler, how are you feeling about this one?
Honestly, I kind of fully agree on this lineup here. I don't think anybody really got snubbed. I mean, Jaylen Brown's having a great year, but is he going to get in as a wing or a guard over Tatum or Mitchell? Like, I don't see it. So I honestly, I got no issues with this one at all. A lot of injuries, a lot of guys that weren't able to get voted on kind of helped these guys, but they're all having fantastic years, and I got no beef here.
Kind of crazy the Knicks, though, have the two starters.
It's crazy.
I mean, I don't have an issue with it. It's just interesting. Lou, what do you think?
Yeah, so far so good. I think the East is pretty much self-explanatory. I don't really see anything that's glaring for me for these guys that are gotten in. These 5 guys that are starting, that got voted in, very much earned. Especially with the fan vote, especially with the way they're playing. I don't see anything that stands out here. The West is going to be interesting, though.
So here's where it gets, and look, I think we all have our opinions on what I'm about to ask, but you know, if you look at the fan vote, and it had been that way since they started, LaMelo has been dwarfing people behind him in votes. I think he had like hundreds of thousands of more votes in that top spot. Some people would say that's a snub. Others say probably not. What are we saying?
It's not a stub because you can't reward a guy on a bottom team like that. The guy's having a heck of a year. His numbers are through the roof. He's averaging, 30-plus points, whatever it is. But we're talking an NBA starter. I think you have to be on a relevant team or somewhat of a good team to get that. Or you have to be one of these guys like a Steph, that's almost a legacy that's not playing his best that we've ever seen, but it's a shoe-in lock. But it's going to be interesting to see if LaMelo Ball makes it as a reserve, to be honest with you, because you look at the guards in the East, you look at Tyler Hero, Cade Cunningham, Dame Lillard, like these guys, they're in. So I don't know if I've seen a guy with so many votes as a starter that might not get in at all.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, that's where it's going to get interesting. You go from being one of the top vote getters to possibly not getting in at all, simply because some other guys are playing better, their teams are playing better, they're in better positions. And we talked about legacy acts, right? Like I look at a Trae Young, like he might get an opportunity being that how the game is going. Now, where it will get interesting is some of the other young guys, Cade Cunninghams, Jalen Johnson for the bigs. These are Tyler Hero down in Miami. These are guys that I think are probably going to get that look before LaMelo Ball simply because of their records and the impact that they've had on their teams.
And then you look at the Cavs, who are 36-7, like Darius Garland or Evan Mobley, like those, they're in. Like one of those two are in.
Yeah, I agree.
Quite possibly both of them. So
it feels like LaMelo's not taken seriously. Am I reading too much into this? Like, this is the overall vibes that I'm getting.
I think it's at the end of the day, they're 11-29.
Okay.
Like they're 11-29. There haven't been a lot of national TV games. Look, he's got a lot of clout. He had a lot of hype coming up, social media, his family. Like, he's well known. And I think everything with his brother dropping that song, things
How's
like
it
that.
Go?
Whoa. Yeah. Whoa.
I just wanted you to do it.
No, he's extremely popular and famous to you know what I mean? But like, I don't know if now that the nitty-gritty comes down to the next round of voting, if he's going to get the nod over some of these other guys that people like more, to be honest with you.
Nope, it's fair. The word legacy, keep it in mind. Let's take a look at the Western Conference starters, shall we? Steph, SGA, Durant, LeBron, Jokic. Quite the who's who. What do you think?
Listen, this one is a little dicey, and again, I think first of all, I think this team is unbelievable. Look at that, like it's ridiculous. If there was a spread and these teams were actually playing heads up, I think it'd be like a 15-point favorite.
Do you really?
Especially when we start adding in the bench guys. The West team is so much stronger. Again, you look at a guy like Steph Curry, and in my mind, he's an all-star. Like he's one of the greatest players of all time. But like right now, statistically, this year, should he be a starter? Who knows? LeBron James, hell of a year, 40 years old, thinks he's doing. He's got a teammate whose numbers are just as good, if not better, Anthony Davis, that probably could have started. Kevin Durant, you know, he just edged out Wembanyama, who he's the future. He's the shining, you know, next big thing in the NBA. He also could kind of be starting. So I don't have a problem with it. I fully get it. I think all those guys are going to make it anyways, obviously, and I think they're going to play the majority of the minutes in the game. And we'll see. Hopefully, maybe this year the NBA can get back to some intensity. But there are a couple tweaks I could have made here and not had an issue with it either if it went the other way.
This one, I do think that there are more hiccups in, Lou. Do you agree with Chandler?
Yeah, I agree. But listen, you give credit where it's due. A lot of these guys are legacy acts. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, LeBron James. These are legacy acts. And you knew good and well we weren't going to have an all-star game in the Bay Area for the first time in that new arena without having Steph Curry represent the Golden State Warriors out there. So, you know, as much as we can make a case for a lot of these young guys, these positions are deserved. You know, these are legacy acts. These are guys that are going to be grandfathered in, especially when you add in the fan vote part of this whole ordeal. These guys are going to get in, and rightfully so. We can make a case that a lot of these young guys, a lot of this new energy, new blood, these guys should be just as deserving. But even those guys got to understand this is a business, this is sports entertainment, and you know, we complain about the All-Star Weekend being represented the right way and the right people being there. These guys should be there. I don't know if they should be starters. You know, if we're just talking strictly basketball and what's been going on this year and this season. But they deserve to be there. They deserve to be all-stars. But we can make a case for a lot of different young guys that should be starters as well.
Yeah, and when it's interesting when you look at it, the Suns and the Timberwolves have struggled, right?
Sure.
Anthony Edwards and Devin Booker's numbers are both better than Steph Curry. So, like, at the end of the day, I think their team success, which is interesting because the Warriors haven't had that much success either. I think it just goes in, obviously, to the name, the legacy. Lou makes a great point. It's in Golden State. It's in San Francisco. You have to have Steph Curry in that game as the main attraction. He's the guy. So, again, I don't have a problem with it, but you can look at some of these other guys have much more deserving statistical starts to the seasons right now, but Steph Curry's an all-star, so I got no beef.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's look. You said the West is the better. I do think it's there's an argument to be made. I don't feel it as much on the Eastern Conference side, but the Western, I certainly do. But are we all in agreement? Western Conference greater than Eastern Conference starting five?
Oh yeah, you look at that's like the Monstars, right?
Not
right
just
there.
starting five
You
either.
know?
The bench is gonna.
Yeah, the bench is gonna get crazy. Like the Clippers are gonna get somebody to represent them. Anthony Edwards, I'm sure. Wemby is gonna be in that conversation. Sengun, Ja Morant, Jalen Williams. It's gonna be a lot of young guys that are gonna fill out this bench. That's gonna make the
You know
West.
what's weird though? Because we have the new format, right? So then the rising
do we not
stars.
know what the G League guys are gonna do? What,
but
what's
then
that?
we don't. How
I
does
think they
that
announced
work?
that afterwards, but I'm just saying if this was just straight up East versus West, and you still don't know because maybe the East guys are a younger team, they'd probably play harder and they'd probably play more of the minutes, so you never know who's going to win the All-Star game. You never know who's going to really play. I'm just saying on paper, this West team is one of the deeper teams I've seen.
It's yeah, it's gonna be good.
Like, there's going to be a couple guys also that get completely snubbed.
Completely snubbed.
Like James Harden or Norman Powell, one of them is not making the All-Star
Yeah,
team.
no, there's
Like,
gonna be
that's
there gonna be a few. I can't wait
Sabonis
to,
or Fox, one of them's not making it.
Can't wait to argue about it for
It's
days.
crazy.
It's gonna be so much fun. Guys, we had day basketball yesterday. Yes, we did. Oh, wee. Look at that. Wow.
Wee. Oh, bonjour.
He dominated in his hometown in front of everybody. 140-110 win over the Pacers. He finished with 30, 11, and 6. 5 blocks. That's all in 32 minutes. The second half was absolutely nuts. He put on an absolute show. First of all, love that I can be doing my other job and have live basketball on. Number one, let's do
11
that
a.m. tip is awesome.
More often. It was just so enjoyable. But Blue, did you love the idea that Wemby went home? Like he legit hosted a show in front of his home fans.
Absolutely loved it. This was great to see. It was great for the morale of the San Antonio Spurs to be able to go over there. I saw when Chris Paul talked about the hospitality that Wemby was showing everybody, making sure they were going to the right places, eating in the right restaurants. This is great for the growth of the game. We are an international sport now. You know, the NBA has crossed borders. Some of our absolute best players are international guys. So, you know, for Wemby to have an opportunity to go home, play in front of his home crowd, I think it's great for business. I think it's great for the sport. As far as growth goes, and let's keep it going. Let's get all. Let's go to Serbia. Let's go all of these. Yeah,
Greece.
let's go all of these different places and allow these guys to get that home feeling, just as much as our guys that are stateside that they get to do 2 or 3 times a year as well. So this was great for the game.
Yeah, and you don't have to look further than the Olympics. You can see basketball is growing. It's so competitive all over the world. And like you just said, let's get one in Greece. Let's get one in Canada for SGA. Let's go to Serbia with Jokic. Some of our top players in the NBA, like 5 or 6 of the top 10 players, are not from America. So the game is expanding, and it's great to see the fans. When I went to Taiwan and Philippines back in the day, the fan base, they will cry when they see it. Like, they care so much. They love it. You can't, I go to Cabo once a month. You can't go a block without seeing a basketball court. It's growing all over the world. So I think things like this, where they can actually see you in person, even get a chance to get your autograph, talk to you, feel like they know you, it's really special. So the fact that you can see Wemby, who's this huge star, coming out of France, you knew he was going to go back and put on a show, right? And my God, did he?
But he really did. Like, sometimes you want to put on a show, but it doesn't work out that way. This was just like textbook, perfectly executed. So much so, we gave you the stat line, but there's a particular stretch in the third quarter. It's poetry in motion is what it is. So let's go ahead and run that bad boy, and we can break it down. He had 3 blocks in this thing, and you could argue it should have been 4. Some rebounds, you got an assist, you got a finish with a lob there. That's 90 seconds of your life that just went by, and he did all of that, guys.
And that's a block, an assist, a rebound, another rebound, another block, altering shots.
Do it now.
He altered 2 shots and blocked a shot in the same possession.
It's like a cartoon.
And then he brings the ball up like a point guard. Let me show you a little show and go, get another assist.
Julian Champagny!
It really, I'm telling you, we've never seen someone like this, dude. Look at this.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. How many people yesterday maybe saw him for the first time and went, oh, you know what? Oh. No, he's kind of good. I know Conrad, our producer, did. I don't think he realized it until yesterday.
This is great, though. Think about how many times guys go home and they wish to play great in front of their home crowd. Like, this dude dominated, and it was across the pond. This is great to see.
And they've been, like, they hit the ground running after they played in Miami on Sunday, flew there. They've been all going nonstop. Both teams have, which is why I was kind of curious to see how they would come out. But the second half was just such a tale of 2 halves that I couldn't figure out what was going on. That's not all he did, by the way. We got another treat, a Wemby treat, if you will.
Off the glass.
I feel very happy watching all of this. Yeah. Is there going to come a time when you can't do this?
You know how ballsy it is to do this in a game? Like, this could easily go so far south.
So rude.
And I want to know, on this loot, does he get a rebound, an assist, and a bucket here?
He gets a rebound, and well, probably doesn't get an assist because it's to himself, but he definitely gets a rebound, a shot attempt, and a
missed shot attempt. That's
you should get you should get all of it. You know what reminds me of? When Giselle would be...
He didn't assist anybody. Well,
himself.
I don't know if that counts.
This is the equivalent of Giselle saying Tom can't throw it and catch it to himself. Wemby can do all of the
That's more of an assist than a missed shot.
I agree.
Hey, Chandler, you know how many guys would throw the ball off the backboard to themselves and transition now if they counted as an assist to themselves?
Oh, for sure.
That would be the new layup. That would just be the regular layup. Throw it off the backboard.
I think it should.
And dunk it if you got an assist for it.
But not everyone would execute it. They would try it.
That's just like a play. It's a play you see in the All-Star game. It's not a play you see in the regular season, like in the 4th quarter of a game.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad if I saw that more often. I don't know how many people can do it well, but I wouldn't be mad at it. Offense or defense? Because so many times we have great players, but maybe one side of the game is lacking. Lou, pick a side with more potential for Wemby. Offense or defense?
Defensively, he's already dominant. He's a shot blocker. He alters shots. Like, that's his skill. And I don't know how much better he can get on the defensive end. He can guard from 1 through 5 in a lot of different scenarios. When you ISO him, like, you're not going to beat him off with your foot speed. And if you do, he's going to catch you at the rim. So I feel like he has more of a improvement area on the offensive end. You know, he can have a lot of different ways to get better. I don't see him posting up as much and using his size in that area. So I think offensively, it's a lot of things that he can add to his game. Defensively, he's already there. I don't know what else he can add.
Yeah, it's not like if he gets stronger, he's going to become this better defender, right? No, he can already guard 1 through 5. His timing, his instincts they're already elite and top-notch. He can always expand his game offensively. He can get more efficient. He can get to the free throw line more. He can always clean up things offensively. But defensively, I honestly don't know. Stay healthy. Like, is that he's going to be the best defender of all time? Like, but like offensively, he can continue to work on his game. He can get people involved more, and most importantly, I think he can be more efficient moving forward. But the dude's insane. It's insane.
We would not be doing our jobs. This is Paris, the fashion capital of the world, and the Pacers came to play.
Look at this.
I don't
Who's
want
that?
to.
TT Miles.
And then there's I mean, we knew Tyrese was going to do something. He does it at home.
What's crazy is getting to know Tyrese this summer, too, you wouldn't match the wardrobe with the personality.
All,
I would not think he would wear this. I don't hate that.
This is fine. I'm good with this. This is easy. Yes, there you go.
I like all of these. I like all of these fits. Okay, bro. JJ, I see you. I see you, James. I see you.
Fine.
Okay, Tommy.
It's a little too cash, but I get it.
The guys look good. The guys look good. I think Miles Turner being first caught a break.
I like that.
These guys look good. I give these guys some fits.
Was he wearing an ascot?
Yeah, most of those, I mean, Miles and Tyrese's were crazy. But listen, this is the one place, this is the mecca of fashion. You can take a risk there. they took a risk, those first two.
But Halliburton does that stuff at home. Like every
he does it he does it in Indiana.
Yeah, Paris, Indianapolis.
Same thing.
It's very different. By the way, if you haven't watched Rick Carlisle talking about the Paris Police Department, please do. I've never seen a man so happy to have gotten an escort to the arena. It must have been the greatest thing he's ever been. He said it was the most exhilarating thing that they have done in a long time. And that is including all the fun that they've been having in Paris. So weaving, it's that Euro driving. We got some Kings Nuggets. There were other games yesterday, obviously. Jokic, stop me if you've heard this one before. 35, 22, 17, 132, 123 win. That is 5 now straight triple doubles for Mr. Jokic. He's averaging 30, 13, and 10. Flirting with, averaging an actual triple double for the season.
He is.
The MVP talks, Lou. I mean, it's never too early, right? It's going to be a fun one, I think, this season. So, I know you're an SGA guy,
Lou,
but
I could argue. Listen, I could argue this.
Let's do it. I got time. I got time. Let's do it, man. Listen, I love what he's doing, and these are some big time numbers, and it's leading to wins. We can't step on that. He's doing everything that he can to put this team in a position, and these numbers are crazy. Like the stat line that I just saw. Here's my argument, though, Chandler. Is he doing this out of necessity? Does he have to put up these type of numbers for them to win? I think that's the difference between he and SGA. SGA is doing this through the flow of the game, and they're winning basketball games, and everybody else is still getting off around him and doing everything. That's going to be my only fight. Are these numbers absolutely necessary for them to be a competitive team? That's the only slight I would have for Jokic. Other than that, this is a great stamping for him to be in the MVP running once again.
And I think SGA, the biggest thing he has, obviously, is they're 8 games above in the standings, right? They are the clear-cut best team, most dominant team. So if they continue to do that all season long, no problem. And by the way, I've been all over SGA. I admit that's Lou's guy. I was always been a Jokic guy. And right when I think SGA is running away with this MVP, Jokic goes on a heater like this. And I looked at the stats. They're spooky similar. I think that, SGA is averaging 32, 6, and 5 with 2 steals and shooting 53% from the field as a guard is bananas. I think that's insane. Jokic's numbers are also 30, 13, and 10, also 2 steals, 57% from the field, and 48 from 3 as a center is almost more insane than him 50, you know what I mean? So, both of them are putting up these gaudy numbers. I think early on the season, the Nuggets, we thought they took a step back. We thought the window closed. Now, all of a sudden, Jokic is putting the entire team on his back, and he's playing better than he ever has before. So
but Lou, did you say that's a knock against Jokic because he has to do this?
He absolutely has to do this.
But how is that a knock? I feel like it's the opposite.
Well, you were a championship team at one point. Where's your help? We give Jamal Murray all of this.
Yeah, but doesn't that mean he's the most valuable to his team because SGA has more help?
And look where it's landed you 8 games behind the other guy that's just as valuable. So
they're climbing, though. They are climbing.
We're climbing to SGA. SGA is already there. So I want to make sure I keep my position and my narrative in place because as this thing gets closer and closer, we're going to make a lot of different reasons why Jokic should be winning another MVP.
Yeah, we are.
And he got last year. This one is SGA's.
I don't know. Let's throw up some information, if you will. I love stat news. Breaks it down very, very.
You're doing something the first time since Will. It's ridiculous.
That seems like a big deal.
Right? I mean, the dude's had 32 double-doubles. He's had 20 triple-doubles. It really is crazy. Now, again, I think this is going to come down to team success.
Wait, that's insane. Look at that. First player in NBA history to lead all players in points, rebounds. Yeah, but the first one in history? That's
a hell of a Thursday.
Insane.
On a Thursday. We got to read the fine print.
Again, first player in NBA history to have an 8 games. Dude.
I'm telling you, listen, Lou. I don't want to argue.
I don't want to argue.
And I love SGA, and I love what he's doing.
He's exhausted.
I think it's going to. I just know, listen, if they say this 6, 7, 8 game gap, I think it's SGA's, and it's not even close. But if the Nuggets keep doing what they're doing now, and they keep winning, and they finish in that 2 seed, or God forbid, they take over the 1 seed, Lou, it's Jokic's again.
And I don't want to hear fatigue either.
To me, I agree with you, Chandler, but it's if he does this, if he does that, SGA is there. Let's keep the narrative
it's
in place.
January.
It's January, and Jokic is chasing SGA.
Why are we fighting?
If it ended right now, it's SGA.
No, why are we making a case for somebody that's chasing the guy that's there already?
Because the chase is in full swing, and I got to be honest, I can hear him.
I'm winning.
He's coming.
Chandler and I are in a race right now. I'm winning the race. I'm already closer to the tape.
Yeah, why are we talking about second place?
But the tape is still 12 miles away.
If Chandler changes his shoes by this place, he's going to be the guy.
Because I think he's going to.
The guy.
No, you're doing a sprint, and Jokic is running a marathon.
You're trying to give the guy the award already, and there's 40 more basketball games left.
And you guys are trying to make a case for me why I should give it to somebody else that's behind the guy that I'm making the case for.
Because it's January, whatever the heck today is, 24th.
Say that about your guy. Say that about your guy.
This is, I can't wait. This is going to be a good year.
Didn't we do this last year?
Yeah, but you know what? There's something more exciting about SGA.
Holy smokes, can one of them just pipe down?
No, they're not going to.
Who's 3?
Wait,
Giannis,
but
Tatum?
can your guy do this, Lou? Let me just let me throw that out there if we're gonna try to figure some things
out. This is just a cherry on top. Look at this.
Can he do this?
Stop it, Lou.
He must be so excited.
Are we adding this to like the things?
Yes.
This will be played on his 2025 MVP highlight reel.
Wait a minute. Do you think he was stoked about it? I feel like he probably just jumped up and down and was super cheerful, or just stood there stoically and did nothing.
Care less. Look at him.
Absolutely.
He's like, does it count?
I kind of love it.
Did my horse win the race?
That
is a dime, by the way.
And you know what else? Let him tell her he doesn't even care about the reward anyway. It's SGA's.
But look, he did finally say this week that he thinks he's playing the best basketball of his career. And I don't believe he says things like that ever. So I find that interesting as well, because he's clearly aware of everything.
All jokes aside, he's on a tear right now. Like, he's playing out of his mind basketball. It's great to see. Like I said, it's great for the game to even have these conversations for both of these guys. They're both playing out of their minds. He's going to put them in a position to compete, and he's going to be knocking on that door for that second, third, and fourth string come All-Star break. He's going to try to get some of these young teams that's led by these younger guys. He's going to try to get them out of there.
And to Lou's point, like right now, if this thing ended, it is the Thunder are 36-8. This kid is 26 years old. The things SGA are doing also you can't overlook. So if it ends right now, it's SGA.
Well, you know what? I'm glad it doesn't end right now.
Me too, because I want to keep talking about this for the next 3 months.
Me too. Celtics, Lakers. Celtics on the, I believe, the back-to-back. LeBron and AD, though, didn't matter. 117-96. LeBron finished with 20-14, 6 assists. AD had 24-8 and 3 blocks. Tatum with 16. Porzingis threw in his 22 points. Lakers came out hot in this one. The Celtics were down 19 by the half. They go on to win by 21. The 4 seed is still very much theirs. Win-wise for the Lakers, Lou, how big is something like this?
It was a good win. I think the Boston Celtics did them a lot of favors, didn't play their best basketball game. They were living and dying by that three-point shot, and they weren't as efficient as they usually are from the arc. And it gave the Lakers an opportunity to get a lot of run-outs, a lot of run-out dunks, a lot of transition that led to LeBron's big dunk that everybody celebrated last night. That was so cool to see. But, you know, other than that, the Lakers, they still have some concerns, right? LeBron went out and said it. He feels like he needs another big, you know, him playing the 4. They can find some success there from time to time again, but they got to find some consistency in the other guys. We know what LeBron is going to bring to the table. You know what AD is going to bring to the table. Okay, what do we get after that? You know, Austin Reeves is in a good run right now. Dalton Connect is still finding his way and still trying to find his groove. They got to find consistency from their role players and from the other guys. And, you know, they're getting criticized right now for always looking at the trade deadline to make their team better. Now teams are starting to say, well, look, what about the guys that are already in uniform? Start developing some of these guys. So last night was a great win for them. But like I said, the Boston Celtics did them a lot of favors in how they played last night, but they still have concerns moving forward.
You want to see the LeBron dunks? Do you want to see them? Do you want to feel weirdly old?
My dad texted me. He goes, holy smokes, are you watching this game?
Like what?
Like LeBron's still doing. And then he had another one where Reeves found him.
Yeah.
It really is. It really
Maybe
is.
we should have spent $1 million on our body a year. Maybe we would feel much better than we do right now.
Chandler, it looked like he's starting to surprise himself with some of this stuff.
I spend $1 million a year hurting my body. not helping my body. I do the opposite.
You're the
and
worst.
man, it's fun. But I can't do that.
worst.
I can't do that in a gym by myself.
No, that's dumb. That is actually
It's
stupid.
crazy.
Yeah.
I will say, watching this game last night, the Celtics offense, when they're just settling jack and threes, their
It's
offense
not
gets
fun.
stagnant. Their offense stinks
I
when
agree.
they do that.
It's weird because they're the defending champs. You're like, I hate this.
Lakers made them feel small. They killed them on the glass. Every matchup, they were more physical. This made me feel a little weird about the Celtics.
Well-
I'm not going to panic, but they got exposed a little
Couple
bit.
nights in LA, and maybe they decided.
settle. They have
who
like
cares?
a good two, and they settle and take a
They
worse
try to
shot.
shoot themselves out of their
Yeah,
problems,
it's like-
man. Like I saw it was a stretch where LeBron got 2 layups in a row, and then they come down, they shoot 2 threes in a row. Every time that they were trying to make a run, they tried to shoot
Yeah, it's
themselves
tough.
out of the hole.
I
It
didn't like what
work.
I saw last night.
That's not
from
my
Boston.
favorite. It's not my favorite at all. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, he was so good, we want to see him again. RAJON Rondo from earlier this week when we return.
Run it up, run it back, run it up.
Time like a Rondo.
RAJON Rondo. That's what I'm talking about.
Just for the record, I'm breaking it. I did it when they said that it can't be done.
Wow, what a pass.
Champion, yeah.
Well, that's just fun. He's back. RAJON Rondo, 2-time champ, 4-time All-Star. Thank you, by the way, for joining us again. By the way, last time since we had you on, Doc Rivers somehow convinced you to come hang out, guest coach at training camp. Things go from there. First experience was what?
Amazing. He threw me right in the fire. I actually got to call a play set for all 3 units. And like I said, just not even knowing. But I always prep and practice for anything. And I think I did a great job. But other than that, it's been a fun experience. Just coming in, being a sponge, learning as much as possible. And also the coaching staff, them allowing me to come in and kind of be myself. It's been a great experience.
So how does that work? Because guest coach is different. Do you just go occasionally? Like, what are the expectations for you?
Yeah, right now I'm fortunate I can kind of make my own schedule, and I base it around my kids' schedule. My son's playing, full-time high school basketball now, and then my daughter's her last year in high school volleyball as well. So when they're not playing, I'm usually with the Bucks, and that's every so often. Try to get there at least twice a month, but it just depends on the schedule.
And what does that mean when they win the whole thing in Vegas? I'm not trying to be an accountant here, but did you get any of that, or
Did you get the 500?
did you get some cash?
No, what I got is priceless. Just the experience, the
That's
people I was able to network with, and like I said, I'm not in it, for sake right now. Like I said, I need the knowledge and just learn as much as I can. So it'll benefit.
What a good
For
answer.
the next 15, 20 years.
The best answer?
Let me ask you this.
Not
though.
what I wanted you to say.
Let me ask you this. Now that you dipping your foot in coaching, has that made you rethink some of your interactions with coaches over the years? Like, I should have chilled a little bit.
No.
Right.
You didn't call Carl out, so Coach, my bad. Now that I'm on the other side.
I don't really think that way, Lou, because I think I appreciate myself more and how I dedicated my craft and how much time I spent on damn near being a coach while I was a player. So for me, my mindset, it is a little bit different, but in the same instance, I get to see how much time actually players are putting in the work off the court as far as film work and understanding and getting better for the betterment for the team. So looking back, like I said, I think I did a hell of a job as far as that aspect, but also not crossing the line, but at the same time having a good expectations for the team.
Tell me what would be your coaching style. Now that you've been able to pick up some game from Doc, you've worked with some coaches I'm sure that you would care not to ever work with ever again, but it's some guys that you rock with. What would be your personal coaching style?
For me personally, I obviously a player coach, a willing listener, come in with a great veteran staff, my initial first year, and just, continue to take it day by day, putting the work in, understanding that, as players, we put in about 3-4 hours a day and we're done in a sense, but I'm understanding that the coaching staff, it's about 6-7 hours a day. So just understanding what it takes to get to that level and being the best, putting the best foot forward. So for me, I get my practice in now on my AU teams, as much as I'm involved with his team versus my son's, his teams in high school. So other than that, I'm just practicing as much as possible.
Yeah, Doe, I always thought I wanted to be a head coach, and then I played in the NBA, and I realized that, and no chance. Has this experience made you more or less likely to want to be a head coach in the NBA?
Head coach, and I want to do some front office work as well. I don't want to box myself in, but I feel like, everything I've ever put my mind to, I'm able to accomplish. And I've tried to surround myself with the right people as far as knowledge and understanding how to get to that level. and just educate myself in every department I can.
I think you'd be a hell of a coach. I'm pulling for you.
Appreciate it.
Straight up.
I'm learning patience. My bad. But I'm learning patience through my, just the kids I'm working with AAU-wise, my own kids. So I think a lot of people compare me in some instances to Magic as far as the intellect of the game and not having enough patience to coach, individuals at that level. But, everything in life is a challenge. And I think I'm willing to accept it and try to figure out, that angle and try to be great at that.
Nothing tries your patience than coaching AAU kids. I'm on the women's side, man. So nothing tries your patience more than that, for sure.
like that.
But I always think, like,
Or the parents.
Parents, oh my God. That's a whole nother episode.
Like, we talk about, like, as a player, like, I used to hate, like, tape shoot-arounds, or I used to hate all the events we had to do. Like, is there something that, as a player, that you couldn't stand, that you're like, all right, there's no way, if I'm a head coach one day, that we're doing?
I would say, I don't even know if tape shoot-arounds even allowed anymore.
I don't think it's legal anymore.
Right.
Straight up.
So for me, I used to hate those mornings, but I was fortunate. I had some great coaches that didn't even, we didn't even get taped, in my career, but others we did. So I'll probably absolutely agree with you on that one. Other than that, no, not really.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I'm always trying to just talk to my leaders on the team, and then, like I said, hire a great staff. That's the biggest piece, and be a listener.
Got to talk a little Giannis here, because obviously watching, he's physically dominant. But have you learned anything about him now that you're around that perhaps maybe doesn't translate when we're just watching games?
How much he takes, I think, accountability. I don't know if that, he's always talking about, or a lot of guys put their hands up in that nature or my faults. But no, he takes a lot of accountability and he wants to win. When they don't win, he takes it damn near the hardest, and he's trying to figure out ways to figure out how to get the W done. So,
I like that. A lot of people, Prime Shaq, obviously, when you think of physical dominance over the years, where do you put Giannis as far as, like, the guys in this league that have sort of had the skills and the traits that he has?
I mean, he's one of one. I mean, like I said, he's his own person. He's his own identity as far as something that we've never seen in our game before. I think he is more dominant in the paint-wise than Shaq. Obviously the times are different, and I'm not, I don't want to go ahead with Shaq or anything, but I'm just saying numbers-wise. I think his percentages are greater, and I think he's scored, I think, maybe more points in the paint. Like I said, the game is different, but he's unstoppable. Like I said, just being able to dominate in certain areas. I'll tell the young guys, I'm like, you don't have to be great everywhere, but if you can be your special talent in what you do best and own it, and master it, and like I said, you'll find a way to carve a niche and be effective on the court.
Joe, let's go back to your playing career a little bit. When you told a story about Danny Ainge during those 2008 finals against the Lakers that basically demanded you shoot the ball more, and you ended up doing that, and Game 6 was a decisive win. You went off. Did you ever think, like, I can be doing more of this, or was it in your hearts and your game just to be like a pure point guard? Because I see the difference nowadays in point guards. Most of them are scoring point guards. It's rare that you see like a pure point guard these days. Was that just always your calling, or do you kind of look back and be like, damn, I could have been a bucket too?
No, like I said, we all, for sure, if you can go back even high school, like I said, I was averaging, damn near 28 points a game in high school. So it's like we have that nature. But for me, being able to be a pass-first guard, being able to manipulate the game in a different fashion, and understanding that the ball gives everyone energy. And if I'm able to facilitate that, give it to my teammates, I can tell them to go run through a wall for me, figuratively speaking. So when you give a guy a ball, like I said, they know what I'm listening. If a guy run up down the court 4 or 5 times and hasn't touched it, the energy isn't the same. He probably doesn't get through that pick and roll even harder now. So it's like just those little things for me. Being a quarterback, being a pitcher, I was always taught to being selfish and figure out ways to improve your teammates. So that kind of just came natural for me, and I love to take that challenge on. Even when I played against, I played with Denver, I'm sure, with 15 to 20 All-Star or Hall of Famers. And what I pride myself on was making their job a lot easier. Just getting them easier buckets, getting that field goal percentage higher. So just playing games within the game, that's what I love to do.
Yeah, because you talked about the depth of the pure point guard. But where the game is now, do you see an opportunity for it to get back to where pure point guards exist?
It's hard to say that because, now there's so much random basketball, so you don't necessarily have to, manage the game as much until the fourth quarter. Back and obviously when there was less possession when I played.
It's just free-flowing now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just free-flowing, yeah, so you don't have to understand. But then times you do have a team where you have your big threes or you got your guys that a couple of different 3 All-Stars on the team to where I feel like a point guard can mitigate a lot of the problems if they're able to delegate the ball to each one and make sure everybody's cool versus, hitting the media or depending on solely on the coach. Because the coaches only do so much. You can call your sets and plays, but the ball's going to go where it goes. But also the new game of shooting within the first 6 seconds of the shot clock. I think I've seen one of the kids for the Lakers come down and shoot a, 1-on-3. Trade. It's like, so it's like, if it's a point guard, back in the day, I'm cussing you out if you shoot that shot. But now it's like, do you overcoach that, or how do you handle that? So each game is different. Every personnel is different. So for me, there's not a lot of pure point guards left, but that's just the way the game has gone. But I don't think it's a lost art as far as what it can get back to.
Put your coach's hat on for me for a second. So if you can pick one of these young guards that's close as possible to a pure point guard, which one of these young guys would you build your team around?
You say young guy.
Well, give me a pure point guard, anything.
No, I got you. Okay, young guy. A young guy. I got to go with young. I mean, there's a lot of great young talent. I mean, obviously you can't.
It's not a lot of pure point guards out there. A lot of these point guards now, hybrids. They really scoring guards.
Pure
like, I love
guard.
Cade Cunningham, but...
Cade Cunningham, Halliburton's kind of a pure point guard type.
Yeah, I feel like if I can get a Cade to understand how to manage the game, because, again, he's a 3-level scorer. He can manipulate the game on both ends of the floor. So, for me, if I can get my hands on a Cade Cunningham, JB's done a hell of a job down there in the year he's in now, but I think he could become, that one type of point guard. Like I said, it's only a couple of tweaks, and then it's about personnel. Because, again, if he has to be the man and he has to get 30, then that's what he has to do. But then if he had, maybe 2 more superstars in the game, he wouldn't have to manage and go get 30 every night.
Absolutely.
And you look at Maxey, Brunson, these guys are all pretty much score first. Dame Lillard.
But like you said, that's what's needed.
Right.
That's what's needed with the positions that they in.
Doe, 2020 Lakers championship versus 2008 Celtics championship. You said that the Lakers championship meant more because it was in the bubble and you were with your son. How much did KG and those guys give you? When you said that.
Now that we all have kids, I think they understand. It's not that it meant more from a sentimental point and something I obviously remember more with my kids. And like I said, if you have kids, you understand. So for me, at a young age, when I was with the Celtics, I'm thinking, this is about to be my new normal. I thought we had a hell of a time and the team that we can run it back-to-back with. And in a sense, I kind of took it for granted when I was that young. But understanding it took me, I think, 12 years later to get one, appreciating it 10 times more, and also being able to have that experience with, like I said, with my son. So it's just different values. But obviously, the Celtic one got me to where I am, my career off the start. So and that'll always be the first.
Are those relationships still special because of that? Because you go through a championship and they mean more? Like, I never won a championship. I never had that experience with those certain teammates, and I'm still close with certain guys. Is the relationship today still just as strong, or did that kind of fizzle out once you guys retire and start doing your own thing?
It's not necessarily they fizzle out. Like I said, I don't need to talk to my best friend every day. I don't talk to Josh at all every day, but that's my dog. So, as men, we kind of go different ways about it. But for me, when I see everybody, it's always love. We all have lives and different families we're catching up with and, still creating our own path after basketball. But every time we see one of them, like I said, I'm going to try to figure out how to get this reunion going. It's about that time. I actually got to chop it with Ray at the Emirates Cup. So, yeah, stay tuned.
I like that. We've had basically any guest that comes on of a certain age. KG is the top of the totem pole in the trash talking department. So we can't get enough of the stories. No one seems to even come close to him. Do you have a KG trash talk story that comes to mind?
That comes to mind. I mean, playing or not playing? I mean, he's still talking trash.
Either way, really.
Hey, Doe, KG records downstairs and we record upstairs, and you can hear him through the walls. Lord, that's all you hear through the walls.
Yeah, I'll be back out there soon. But nothing I can really specifically stand out and I can think about. I mean, he's a character 7 days a week. I mean, he's always into it. Me and him have actually almost got into a physical altercation one time. We was animated on the court, but he's like I said, he's always one of my favorite teammates of all time, and like a big brother to me still to this day. So I don't have anything I can think of.
Doe, I got to ask you about this whole Jimmy Butler drama. You played with him for one season in Chicago. What was just that experience like, and what do you make of everything that's going on with him now? Last night he wears the Phoenix Suns colored shoes. He does the hair a certain color. He's doing a lot right now. You didn't see that? He literally had on orange and purple shoes last night playing for the Heat. which was wild. What do you make of what's going on? Is this just petty to the max? This is a nasty breakup. Like what is this?
I would say this is a ugly divorce. I mean, and we're witnessing it all on Front Street. Obviously, both sides aren't happy. You know, we've never seen it to this extreme. You know, like I said, where guys are wearing different, you know, shoes that you want to go to with the hair and everything. So, I mean, Jimmy's being Jimmy. You know, we're all different. We all have our own opinions of how we go about things, and you know, we live life and learn through experiences. So, that's my dog. I ain't gonna shoot him down. You know, like I said, he's doing him, and again, hopefully, he finds a place where he's happy and he wants to, you know, play the game at a high level again. You know, the same thing I told. I actually texted Russ a couple weeks ago. Just told him I'm happy that he feels like he's back to playing good basketball and having fun. So.
Absolutely, absolutely. And speaking of having fun, man, at the start of the season, you spoke about the Boston Celtics and how they were changing the game with their three-point shooting. Now that we're starting to get into the season, do you think this is good or bad for the game? And my personal opinion is, I love the three-point shooting. My problem is with analytics, it's a lot of guys shooting that shouldn't be shooting. Do you think that's good or bad for the game?
I think it's bad, man. I mean, like I said, I was just talking about it. It was actually Dalton Connect that shot the three I was thinking about with the Lakers. I mean, like they were out playing Phoenix, and he's on a break by himself, and he's three defenders back, and he pulls up, and it's like, I get it. You can make that shot. Analytics say maybe, like, I don't get that. But to me, you know, I wouldn't allow that to happen in a sense. You know what I mean? Like I said, not to knock anybody else that's doing what they're doing, but for me, we got to get a better shot than that. 1-on-3, three ball, you know, that's just taking away the game. And like I said, and again, as an offensive player, like, I don't want to run down the court and then you shoot a shot like that and then it sucks the energy out from me defensively. So it's like, it's just those things carry over there where it's like, why even watch it, or why would I even, you know, play as hard as I need to play if we're just all we're going to do is just jack threes? Like, play the game. You know, I'm a big believer in analytics, but to a certain extent, like, you got to play the game the right way.
Facts.
What's crazy, though, is I went to a practice one time, and they do the three-man weave, classic drill. No one goes for the layups. They all go to layups.
Really?
It's three-pointers now.
So this is what's being taught. This is what's being drilled in their head. All three guys go to the three-point line, shoot 3 threes.
Can you unprogram
It's going down, though.
Okay.
I mean, this is high school. This is middle school. This is the way, like,
wow,
like, kids are, like, just destroying it. So.
We have to, like, reprogram the whole way of thinking. I don't know how you do that at the ground level. Superstitions, and this goes for you two as well, like game day superstitions. The showering of 5 times a day. If you didn't shower 5 times a day, does it throw off everything?
You shower 5 times a day?
5 times a day?
No, you don't.
On game days.
On game days, guys.
Come on, dog.
For what?
Come on, dog. 5 times?
I mean, you wake up, I shower.
Morning.
We went through this. Okay, go to shoot around, shower.
Shower after.
Wake up, take a nap. I take my nap.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna shower, get up, I gotta wait to get up. Then I go play the game. I mean, not fact, I gotta warm up, right?
Yeah.
40 minutes on the clock, I take a shower.
You
And then I shower after the game.
That was back.
One of mine was I did everything on the right side first, like my right sock, right shoe to get off on the right foot.
Oh, okay.
But 5 showers though.
5 showers is legit.
Like 2 of them unnecessary.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of, yeah. But do you have none?
You know, like if I
I take a 2-hour nap, man. I gotta wake up from my nap.
I get that one.
I always took a nap.
Cool.
Yeah, wake
okay,
up.
the wake up shower, we probably could eliminate that one. You're on your way to shoot around. You're gonna sweat at the shoot around. We can eliminate that one.
I don't know. I kind of like. All right.
I like the. I don't know. That's just how I'm.
That's
I like
it's your superstition.
How many times you shower a day now that you're retired? You can still get in a good 5?
Twice. Like 2.
Twice. That's a lot.
I'm back.
God, go days without shower.
Ah, you kidding me?
2 is appropriate.
2 a day?
2 is appropriate.
2 is
I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's like 1 a day. Okay, I'm gross. I guess I'm gross.
Are you working out?
Yeah, but after I work out. All right, you know what?
That's it.
Too much. By the way, shout out to the animal crackers in the background. I can't stop staring at those. I'm obsessed. Rajon, thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Brody.
Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate y'all.
Run it back, yeah. Run it up, run it back.
Welcome back. You buying that? We're going to start with Kevin Durant. Hey, Lou. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Louie.
Kevin Durant said he was a little nervous, hard to believe, playing in New York, but it was the most fun he had playing in a long time. So that means that with Harden and Kyrie in New York City over the championship run out in Golden State, Chandler, you buying that?
I mean, no, I'm not, but
Yeah,
like he
kinda
said it. It's like, yeah, I got to believe him.
But he got a lot of hate when he played in Golden State, so maybe that bothers him.
Yeah, and like, again, they think he chased the ring there, but like he still won a championship. And OKC, where it all started with that group, with Russ, with James Harden, with Ibaka, that team, that was fun. But look, this team had a chance to be really special there. And James Harden and him were obviously close. Him and Kyrie Irving are close. They spent a lot of time together in the summer. So the idea of that sounded great. With COVID, everything that went on with Kyrie Irving, with injuries, they never really peaked. But yeah, I mean, if he said it, I believe him. I don't know how or why, but it makes sense.
Lou.
Oh, he's on mute.
Good. Lou,
Am I on mute?
I can't deal with you today. I really can't.
I'm not on mute.
Now you're
Well, now
not.
you're not, because you just pushed mute.
I wasn't on mute. I was never on mute.
Oh my God,
Anyways,
he's doubling down.
We'll check the tape.
yeah, I heard about y'all commercial break. But anyways,
Will you fill up the candy behind you too? It's driving me nuts.
He's actually gotten texts about the
Taylor,
candy jars.
I'm supposed to be tagging this thing, man. But I
My
just
bad.
got home last night. Cut me a break. What do you want me to do?
All right, carry on.
Oh yeah, New York City.
Yeah, I have to agree with him, man. Like he had no pressure on him in New York City, right? Like even though they had a lot of talent, they didn't have the pressure on them to go out there and perform. And by that time, he already had his championships. And like you said, he was getting so much criticism and hate and all of those things. He probably took the joy away from what he was trying to accomplish out there in Golden State. And once that was done, playing in New York City, New York just loves great basketball.
True.
Whether you're an opposing player or you're on the Knicks or the Nets, they're going to just enjoy great basketball, great atmosphere. So I'm buying.
Fun vibes. By the way, that's a lot of empty candy jars. I don't think I realized there was like 9 of them up there.
I got to go to the store. By the time you see it again, we'll be up. But I got
I'll fill it
kids,
up.
man. The candy don't last long.
No, it doesn't. Quick break. Come back. Wrap things up. Woo! It's Friday. We'll be back.
Run it back, run it up.
We are back. Lou, you're up first. We got a little Derrick Rose topic here. He was on the Out the Mud podcast, and then there
We said, how great would it be if they were all just filled up?
are those just
Now,
yellow
look,
lollipops?
I wanted to show you. It's more candy than you realize.
This is
We're just
sad, Lou. This is.
We're
I don't
just
like
at
this
the
for you.
bottom because I have teenage and young kids.
No,
running
there's
around.
2 bags of
There's
M&Ms from Halloween.
You showing us like
This
it's
is worse.
Look, it's candy. It's just at the bottom. I just gotta re-up.
Is he doing this?
One.
You
Now
should
this
just
one
let
used
it
to be
go.
full with gummy bears. Gummy bears are my favorite. So yes, this
This
one
is the saddest I've never.
Oh.
I actually am sadder
Oh,
now than I
Lord.
was when we discovered it.
I get over it.
I was going to ask you, is John Morant a better athlete than Prime D Rose? Answer that, but I'm still a little bit caught up in the candy.
No, I'm not. I'm not buying that.
Okay.
He said the appropriate thing. He's giving his flowers to Ja Morant.
Love it.
But is Ja Morant a better athlete than Prime D Rose? Absolutely not. Now, what Ja Morant is, he's more creative than Derrick Rose. Like Derrick Rose was straight to business, chest to chest. I'm gonna dunk on you. I'm gonna dunk through you, and you're gonna have to foul me, or this is gonna go my way. Now, Ja Morant, he contorts his body. He got the spin layups. He got the right to the left. He has a lot more creativity in his bag, but a better athlete, absolutely not. But I understand D Rose. I'm not buying.
You just took 2 sad bags of M&Ms from probably September.
Also, your camera's doing a
just-
thing where it's tracking you
Y'all
all.
gonna ignore all of these good Starbursts right here?
This is
Y'all gonna
sad,
ignore all
Lou. You're better than this.
Oh,
You know what? Have a good weekend, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Oh, they trailed him
Hilarious.
on the break. Hopefully you guys weren't listening to us on the break.
They were.
Run it up, then run it back, yeah.